Hello and welcome back to Chess of Blades. And I kind of decided to go to the Steam page because I remembered that the sites, or on Steam page they say how many endings there are. I don't remember if Ichio says it on the game, but apparently there is 9 different endings, which I would imagine basically 2 per character. But the 9th ending, I wonder what that is, because the other thing I found out on the site, which I didn't realize, there's another person. So there's not 3, but there's actually 4 people you could romance, I guess. And I can't imagine who that possibly could be. The only ones that are coming to mind is either Alistair or whoever that guy in the arena was. Because those are honestly the only other 2 guys I could think of that I'm like, maybe one of them's an extra option? I have no clue. But anyways, yeah. Then I kind of looked at the Steam achievements and see, like, how long do I actually got of this game? And to be honest, I actually might be closer to the end of this game than I thought. So anyways, after staring contemplatively out of the window for a few minutes, I head into the hallway, slowly closing the door behind me. And I don't pause it. Okay. Today's the last day of the celebration, so yeah. We're on the last day. So it's the only chance I have to catch the murderer. Clear my aunt's name. I'll try to investigate some more and find something that'll give me a hint as to who framed Valoria and how. And then tomorrow I'll finally be able to flee this hellhole and head back home to where I belong. With Franz, maybe. I'm going to seriously think twice before ever leaving the house again. I make my way from the guest rooms to the upper level of the main hall, hearing the chattering of voices grow steadily louder. Louder? Is that a word? Louder? Louder! It's a welcome change from eerie silence of last night, so despite my dislike of crowds, I find myself actually a little relieved. When I reach the main hall, I can quickly see that a number of guests are gathered here to talk and be served. Elegant finger foods, courtesy of the numerous servants drifting around with trays. Oh god. The rain outside is pouring down, doesn't seem to be letting up anytime soon, so the castle will probably be packed most of the day. Oh gosh. I don't know why. I'm like gassy. I don't know why. It's if I didn't even drink the goddamn flavored water. I like drank half of it. Anyways, I grab a cup of tea and some strange but delicious sweet cake I've never seen before. Tuck it into it while walking around the upper balcony. I'm hoping for a glimpse of Silas, Alistair, or that brawler man. They might be able to give me a few more clues. Also, I realize we've not seen Linus or Arden in a long ass time. I'm like thinking right now, like, where are they? I know Linus is doing whatever investigation he's doing, but Arden, if I remember correctly, they said he's on duty now. That's it. So I'm like, you would think we'd see him at some point again. Anyways. This cake is really good. What kind of cake is it? Want to tell us how it tastes like? No? Choose the sweet sponginess with relish. My eyes suddenly catch a familiar black ponytail stain not far off. Ponytail attached to its owner, of course, whose tall, slim figure, spectacled face I recognize clearly. Swallowing the rest of the cake, I hurry over to the table, Nice is futilely lurking around. Okay. When I get close, I resist the temptation to tug at his temptingly fluffy tied back hair. Instead, just clear my throat loudly.
Just the man I wanted to see.
I feel like his name could be said either Linus or Linnaeus, I guess. And so far it's been said both ways. Oh my, what was that? I don't know why, but that reaction. You got disgusted for something? Jumps a little, whirling around to face me with a startled hand caught in the cookie jar sort of expression.
What are you doing so shadily over here? Wait a moment, is that wine? It's not even noon yet.
Well, excuse Excuse me, Mr. High and Mighty. If you had to detain your own king's blasted advisor, you'd be drinking your pain away too.
He sounds drunk. In his hand, Linnaeus holds a half-empty glass of wine, and it looked like he was about to reach for the bottle when I snuck up on him.
Besides, I'm just getting a brief break from trying to solve this ridiculous affair. I'm not looking forward to questioning your old witch of an aunt, let me tell you.
I'd imagine.
Ah,
But what about
at
the
least
guard?
we agree she's an awful old lady then. But I assure you, Linnaeus, there's no way she could be a murderer. You must know that.
That's a heavy sigh, taking a long drink of the ruby liquid in his cup, before pushing up his glasses and turning his gaze reluctantly towards me.
I can't deny the facts, Varison. The cloth hidden in her room, along with the maid's testimony of being threatened by a suspicious guard, right after you encountered that guard last night, is about as incriminating as you can get. Do I actually believe she did it? No. But the politics of the matter demand that someone is punished for this crime, or else our relations with Proivia will grow even worse.
Yeah, but blaming someone is worse than getting it right of who the actual suspect is, though, I think. So he sounds unusually grim for once, and I can tell that he's not happy with the position he's in. Much as I'd like to be angry with him, it's hard to hate the man just for doing his job.
The real culprit is still out there, you know. I'll be damned if I don't get to him before the celebration is over. And when I do, you're writing my aunt an apology letter.
An amused, curious smirk crosses Lance's sharp features, eyes glimmering at me with interest behind his glasses.
Am I now? Well, best of luck to you. I've already questioned everyone involved, but perhaps you want to start with your attacker from last night. Who
Oh, do we get a
firmly
choice?
testifies that your aunt collaborated with him to murder the ambassador. Or maybe you could ask Valora's own ward, that boy, Alistair.
Yeah, I'm like thinking, like if we get a choice here to either interrogate the guard, or wait, who firmly testifies that you're unclever with murder? Okay, yeah. Like the guard, like if we get a choice, the guard, I'm like, we got one culprit. I don't think he's really gonna tell us because I'm pretty sure he's gonna say fucking lies. But Alistair, he's hiding something, so I want to know what that's all about. If we get the choice, I'm picking Alistair. Eyes wide, glasses at a description of the boy. Alistair, my aunt's sword? Oh, that would maybe he has the key then. He's definitely hiding something. Well, it's true, she's currently well, it is true, she's currently childless. Her only daughter ran away from home. And come to think that Alistair said something about his guardian being in bad mood the other day, didn't he? Perhaps she took him in off the streets. That's why he's so jittery and anxious all the time, poor fellow. If I had to spend every waking hour with Valoria, I'd probably be at my wit's end too.
I see. Well, I suppose I'll start sniffing out some clues then. By the way, Linnaeus, why were you giving me that odd look the other night? Back when I was being detained in your office?
The Inquisitor only shrugs at that, topping off his glass wine before turning slightly away.
Why indeed? I knew you had neither the guts nor the spine to kill a man. But if you were in the gardens during the murder, you were almost certainly seen by the true culprit. I figured I could keep your impulsive self safe for the rest of the party, locked in a guarded room. But clearly, you prefer to rely on that bastard Chaumont instead. A questionable decision.
Yes, I guess from your perspective, it would be questionable. I guess he is very shady. Elias shakes his head disapprovingly, gaze darkening with mistrust.
Luckily for him, everyone seems to have forgotten about the nasty political affairs he was rumored to be caught up in a few years ago. Ah well, it's your reputation, Varison, and your life.
Oh, okay. With that markedly cool flippant statement. I'm not even sure if that's even flippant? Flippant statement? Yeah, I'm pretty sure flippant. He pushes up his glasses and turns away, striding briskly towards the stairs. Even though my first instinct is to brush them off as petty dislike, Lance's words remain ringing distantly in my ears. I've yet to hear a positive thing about Franz from anyone. It's difficult to ignore all the suspicion when it keeps piling up. I still doubt he's that much of a bad guy. So I eyed the wine table for a longing moment. No, Rivian, getting completely sozzled is not going to help your investigation. Taking a deep breath to stifle my self-control, I turn away and force myself down to the lower level. More importantly, I need to see about meeting with Alistair or that blasted guard. Although, there's something I haven't even considered before. What if by some chance there's still a clue around the place of the crime? Assuming that the garden's where the ambassador was found, surely there won't be anyone wanting to snoop outside in the rain either. Bit of a long shot, but seems like one of the few opportunities I have to try. That is true. As I would imagine we might find footprints or something. How should I make my way... Wait. Thinking this through again. Because I know it's... whoever the bulky guy was, we have him. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Alistair definitely has something. Now, again, if we get the chance to choose, I'm definitely picking Alistair. Because anything ruling out someone big and bulky, I mean, we kind of already got that, I'm pretty sure. Unless by some long chance, that's that guy from the arena. I can't... the fighter, whoever his name was. But anyways, yeah. Anyway, let's move on. Before I just keep thinking too much on this. So I have to make my way over towards the garden exit. Trying to not look particularly out of place. Seems a lot of ladies brought their parcels down, expecting to go outside today, but thanks to the rain, a number of them are neatly arranged in a rack not far from the garden door. Oh, you're gonna use one of them? Make sure no one's directly observing you, then make a subtle reach for one of the parcels. They're not exactly the most weatherproof thing, but it's better than just getting outright soaked. Luckily, the guard who normally would have been standing by the door is standing a fair distance away, thoroughly distracted in conversation with some blushing young man. God, so no wonder Artem managed to position this joke of a place. Okay. So I quietly slip out into the garden, hastily raising the parcel soon after, keep the rain from immediately assaulting me. Heavy droplets soon saturate my makeshift shield. I walk the same path I did a few nights ago. This time taking care to avoid the standing in front of any windows for too long. Recalling what Celeste told me last night, I attempt to envision where the ambassador must have walked to. She said he'd gone further down the path from where I was standing. So if I keep heading this way then... When I round a corner of the garden, my eyes catches something a little unusual. The bushes oddly squished as if someone fell onto it. Surrounding grass is a bit patchy, like some of it was kicked up or scriffled against. Considering how meticulously well kept the rest of the garden is, I think this could be the place the ambassador fought with his murderers. I lower myself down to a crouch, patting the grass and squinting to see if anything else looks unusual or out of place. The parcel's starting to drip a bit. I'm going to feel very silly if I get caught out here with nothing to show for myself.
Oh, what's this?
When I reach inside the bushes crushedly, my hand suddenly brushes something that feels metallic. I take a hold of it and pull it carefully out, revealing it in my palm. A bracelet? A pretty silver one too, with fine enough filigree to make any girl jealous. Could it be then that a woman really did commit this crime? Ambassador was certainly a male, and if the fake guard was the other half of the conspiracy, that only leaves one individual left. Could it be her? Because she did say that she went in a bush. I don't see how it could be a girl I know, though. Celeste, Emily, Laura, Hazel. Well, come to think of it, this bracelet looks awfully familiar. Can I see Valora wearing this? It can't be Valora, can it? Some rustling noise makes me jerk upright. There's a beat and I slowly step backwards, lowering myself a little. Thought no one would come out here in this weather. Hold my breath and not daring to move an inch, prying for whoever is there to go away.
Kitten, is that you?
Oh, Franz! What weird voice calls out to me? Moments later, a tall, tan figure steps out of the bushes, approaches me, shaking his head.
Franz! You just about gave me the scare of my life.
Do you care to explain why on earth you're skulking around in the rain, holding a lady's parasol and a bracelet?
It's not what you think, Franz. Not what you think.
You don't cross-dress on the sly, do you? Come to think of it, I'd love to see you in a skirt, if I'm being honest.
Jeez. Barely managed to resist the urge to crack my soaked parcel over Franz's head, and instead just glare at his delighted smirk.
Ignoring your bizarre conclusions, I was looking for any clues that could help out our search.
Oh, I imagine this might be the other CG that I was needing to look for. So then if this is the one, then we have like one more CG left. The Franz's eye light up at that. He saunters closer, large boots sinking slightly into the soaked earth. Each heavy
It
step.
seems my clever little kitten got a step ahead of me. I was planning on coming out here earlier before I heard about that unpleasant business with your aunt. You did get the news, didn't you?
When I nod grimly, Franz rubs at the back of his neck with a hand, shaking his head sympathetically. Yeah, he seems oddly strained about the situation. Raindrops have matted his dark hair to his forehead. Water streams down his tanned features in a way that serves to make him look even more
I
exotic.
found this bracelet actually, and it reminds me of one Valora wears. Which is, you know, not very helpful with the whole proving her innocent business.
Yeah. I show Franz the bracelet, and he frowns thoughtfully, rubbing a hand against his cheek.
Not a very encouraging sign. I doubt they'll let you ask her about it, considering she's locked up for questioning. But there might be someone else who could tell you if it's the same one.
It has to be Alistair,
Doesn't
right?
look like there could be many other clues here, though. And the rain has probably ruined any residual evidence that might have been left behind.
Well, we're gonna have to show you to see everyone again. Know what's gonna happen. Well. Anyways. Pretty sure you can see him in the back in the mirror of the camera. Just a little past my mic. Then again, it's kind of probably too small to even notice him. Anyway, I can't help but study Franz as he leans down by the bush, scanning nearly through the grass. He carries himself with a practiced calmness, like he's done this sort of thing a number of times
Have you
before.
investigated a lot of crimes in the past? It seems like a strange activity for a member of a royal family to be involved in.
Oh, now he's shocked that we know about this. Franz pauses, shooting me a look of shock. Oh, that's right, I didn't mention I knew he was Peruvian royalty.
Ah, Silas mentioned your bloodline the other day. I wasn't sure why you kept it so hush-hush.
He gradually pushes himself up to his feet, pursing his lips for a moment. Franz really doesn't like talking about this, does he?
Well, I'm not exactly proud of it. Nor am I very welcome in Peruvia any longer.
Oh.
Although I have no desire to go back.
Okay. So his grim tone catches me off guard. He seems unusually vulnerable right now, and I wonder if this might be my opportunity to learn more about him. Yeah, I mean, I'd rather try to cheer him is my my curiosity flares and I desperately want to press him for more details, but now's probably not the time for that. He'd doubtlessly evade me anyway.
Ah, well, who needs Rivian, right? Their chocolates aren't even that good, you know.
I don't see how this helps. So in my attempt to brighten up his demeanor, it licks a slight eyebrow raise from Franz before affectionate smile occurs gradually on his lips.
Really? I thought they were considered to be the very best. You don't need to lie to make me feel better, kitten. Although I appreciate the thought.
He reaches out to teasingly flick my nose and I pat at his hand with a huff. After a moment, however, Franz inhales a soft sigh, shaking his head a little.
Since you've already learned about my family, I suppose I could tell you that, well, I knew the Peruvian ambassador. He was an awful man.
So, the good thing he's dead then? Voice darkens a little once more, and he runs his fingers through his rain-slicked
He
hair.
was awful? Surely you were a little glad when you discovered he was snuffed out then.
He deserved it, certainly. What frightens me more, though, is that I'm starting to think the disciples didn't murder him just because of his status. Which means they may have another target as well.
Besides us. My confusion deepens as Franz glances off into the distance, seemingly musing to himself more than anything. I guess for a while that he's known more about this case than he's letting on, but there must be a reason why he's avoided divulging it all onto me.
Ignore my ramblings. I'm just getting paranoid from being wrapped up in this mess.
Though I wonder if he's not part of the Peruvian family, then I guess he technically isn't royalty anymore, so why does he want to get himself involved in all of this? So anyways, as Demir quickly lands again, Franz ducks under my parcel, which is barely big enough for me, let alone both of us, and curls an arm around my waist.
Let's go back inside, shall we? Unless you want to try kissing in the rain.
God damn it.
Yes, let's go inside, that is, not kiss. Stop making that face at me.
Franz. I'm really curious on how the other two are like. Franz is great so far. With him constantly flirting. Almost forgot the word. But Franz chuckled at me, flustered cheeks as we head towards the castle. I imagine they're going to question why the hell we're all wet. So internally apologizing to the poor lady whose parcel I borrowed, I leave the unfortunate accessory outside. After peering through the door's window to ensure the nearest guard's backs turned to us, Franz motions for me to follow him into the main hall. We sneak in without drawing too much attention. So that's the fact that we're probably wet. So while I'm fairly dry, Franz is dripping somewhat ludicrously all over the polished floors, and I give him a disapproving
You're
sigh.
making the servants' lives hell, you know. You should really go dry. Oh, hello, Hazel.
Oh, hello. Rather unexpectedly, I notice a set of bright pink pigtails bouncing towards us and turn to face the source. Oh shit. Hazel comes to stop before us, and a alarmed frown on her face.
Rivian, you're all wet. And you... Who are you?
Franz stares at Hazel, and Hazel stares at Franz. He doesn't really seem to know what to do. Has he never seen a little girl before?
I'm called Franz, miss. How do you do?
Yeah, he's never dealt with children before, has he? Somewhat awkwardly crouched down, or at least he probably doesn't understand how to really interact with them. Can't blame him, though. I don't know either. Franz extends one of his large hands to Hazel. His movements are tentative, like someone trying to treat a stray cat.
Oh, I'm Hazel. How'd you do?
She firmly grasps his hands with both of her tiny own and pumps it up and down in an energetic shake.
Don't break my arm off now.
It's hard for me to believe my own eyes, but Franz actually appears a bit flustered, or at least somewhat unsure of himself. To act this way around Celeste, it's possible that he isn't used to being around children.
best friend? If you're not, you should be. He's a very nice man. He gave me a pastry and everything. Sir Franz, do you need a towel? I don't think Silas would be happy if he saw you getting the floor all soaked.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't. Hazel points out to where a puddle of water is forming around Franz's boots, pursing her lips
You're
together.
right. If it wouldn't be too much trouble, then please.
I won't be long. Don't you dare move, though.
I like Hazel. She's nice. After sternly eyeing Franz, Hazel turns and rushes off towards one of the side corridors, and pattering off her footsteps, slightly echoing in the main hall. It isn't long before her little shape disappears, and I turn to Franz with the laugh spilling out before I can stop myself.
So the smooth-talking rogue gets tongue-tied around children, is it? Who knew?
Franz shoots me a little glare, still visibly embarrassed. A gleeful sense of having finally gained the upper hand for once brightens my mood considerably.
Is it because you feel guilty about using your normal crafty tricks on them? Or perhaps you've forgotten what innocence is like?
That's enough out of you.
Seems like I may have pressed too far on his buttons. Sounding more sheepish than angry, pinches my cheek playfully. Perhaps I was close to the mark, though. Never seen him acting quite so unsure of himself before. Decided not to push the subject further. Yeah, good idea. But a smirk still creeps over my lips when Hazel runs back a minute later, clutching a towel almost as big as she.
I'm back. Oh, you've really gone and messed up the floors now, sir.
Oh, she's right. The growing puddle is hard to
Well,
miss.
Franz, you're just a downright embarrassment, aren't you? Go on, get toweled off like the wet dog you are.
You two are really intent on bringing me down today.
We're not trying, but I mean... Letting out a sigh, Franz lowers his head a bit, bowing before Hazel, like she's some sort of princess. Hazel clutches onto the towel with determination, then reaches out to start drying off Franz's soaked hair, staying on her tiptoes so she can reach. Scene really does resemble a girl drying off some large hound. No, perhaps a wolf, who's just come in from the rain. It's a surprisingly touching moment. Yeah, it is. It really is a touching moment. I don't think Franz, of all people, would ever put himself in such a vulnerable position before others. And I suppose also doesn't help either that the music also helps make this more of a touching moment. So, and I suppose there's something rather endearing about how awkwardly he stands there, subjugating his hair to the enthusiastic ruffling from Hazel's towel. Finally, after Franz starts to look substantially drier, Hazel takes a few steps back to survey her work with a satisfied nod.
There. Now you won't ruin the carpet.
Franz lets out a slightly embarrassed cough, smoothing back his ridiculously ruffled hair with one hand and scratching the side of his neck.
Thank you, Miss Hazel. You've saved both the carpet and me, it seems.
Hazel beams in response and tucks the towel back under her arm, seeming rather proud of herself.
Well, I need to be getting back now, but you two take care of each other, okay?
Well, do. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't in sorrow when Hazel addressed Franz and me firmly.
You're both my friends now. So, Sir Franz, make sure Sir Rivian doesn't get into any trouble.
Well...
That's rich coming from you.
Well, even as I mutter doubtfully under my breath, Franz lets out a soft chuckle, all of a sudden dipping his head in a nod.
Of course. I'll make sure to keep him safe. Don't you worry.
The unexpected gentleness in his tone leaves me momentarily speechless. Who are you, and what have you done with Franz?
Good. I'll see you later then. Don't go back into the rain.
With a playful cheating waggle of her fingers at us, if I said that right, Hazel turns to go off, hurrying off again. She runs so much, I don't think I've ever seen her walk anywhere before. I exhale a gentle sigh, feeling slightly warmed inside, despite the lack of progression we've made today in our investigation. If only I could be as chipper and energetic as Hazel about everything. Life would surely seem a lot
Well,
easier.
as thorough as she was, you still seem a bit damp. You'd better go change clothes before you catch a chill. I don't want you sneezing all over me tonight.
Yes, dear, just as you say.
I like how this relation gone from, like, he seems shady to he's a nice guy. This is the best way I could probably put it. In a nice, odd way. The Franz offers a sly wink at me. Slips off, Leo, if you try to leave. So a slight wink, then slips off towards the side staircase, presumably aware of an alternate path to get to his room without climbing the very visible main stairs. My dog's like slightly confused at me. I watch him despair in this distance with a fond smile growing on my lips before I even realize it. Shaking my head, I smooth back my slightly wet bangs while contemplating what to do with the bracelet that's still in my hand, glistening slightly with moisture.
Sir, you're getting the floor rather wet. I'm afraid I'll have to ask you to... Riv?
Arden? Gasping at the sun voice of the guard nearby, I quickly swivel towards him. Gasping at the sun voice of the guard nearby, I quickly swivel towards him. When I see Arden approaching, blinking at me in surprise.
You weren't here a little while ago. Did they put you on emergency duty or something?
I'm only briefly filling in for a friend of mine. Some horrible events happened last night, you see, so I volunteered to keep an eye on things.
Okay. I imagine he has to know what's going on too, but we've not seen him in so long, since like day 2. So he quirks an eyebrow at me curiously, his eyes flickering over the damp parts of my person.
Were you out in the rain? A bit of a strange pastime. I could have brought you an umbrella if you'd asked.
Oh, Arden. I'm sorry. I let out a nervous chuckle and filled with the bracelet in my hands, shrugging in reply.
Exploring a little. I'm a big fan of rainstorms and all that, you know.
What's that you have? It looks like the same bracelet Lady Valora wears. Awfully sorry about what happened to her, by the way.
Hold on a moment. She's wearing it now? You mean this is a duplicate?
Oh, when I cut him off, Arden tilts his head. He's surprised before nodding a little in confusion.
Yes, I helped escort her to the holding cells. It fell off her wrist, so I picked it back up and gave it to her. I commented how pretty it was, and she told me how she'd gotten 2 of them made. One for herself
2?
and one for her daughter.
Who's the daughter?
It seems her daughter's estranged now, unfortunately, but she implied she'd given the second bracelet to someone else. I didn't get a chance to ask more before she went back to yelling about how unfair her detainment was, you see.
Oh, thank you, Arden! This new piece of information clicks strangely in the back of my mind. I don't want to jump to a conclusion, but there's a very uncomfortable possibility I sense opening up.
Very interesting. Well, thank you, Arden. Always useful when I least expect you to be.
I imagine that'd be very... oh, no.
Thank you.
Never mind, yep, he's confused. So I clapped him distractedly on the shoulder, offering an encouraging nod before turning to head off towards the stairs.
Wait, Riv! The masquerade's tonight, you know. I don't suppose you'd be interested in joining me?
I'm sorry, Arden. Gotta go with Franz. I'm really sorry, Arden. I understand his position. I'm like, I'm sorry I'm doing this to you. So his hopeful voice calls out to me from behind, but I can't bring myself to look back at
I already
him.
have a date. Sorry.
Oh. Sense of deja vu flits over me as I offer a distracted reply, but my thoughts are too preoccupied for it to stay on my mind very long. When I returned to the upper floor's hallway, I heard I hit to Linus' room to try and ask him some question. His response, however, is so brusque and annoyed that I'm sent away before very long without much of a new information. Try Valora's chamber next, for one of the guards very reluctantly lets me inside. After snooping around for what feels like exhaustive hours, though, don't turn up any new clues. Probably doesn't help that the guards searched it and left a mess, of course, but it also seemed like it was wiped of any evidence. Save for the conspicuously incriminating blood cloth, of course. In my attempt to find Alistair's chamber, I met with no success, and my request to a guard for a visit with last night's attackers met with blatant refusal. Exhausted and frustrated, I eventually head back to my own chambers, flagging down a servant on the way and requesting a light meal be brought to my room. I sit by the fireplace while mulling over my food, wondering if there's anyone left to ask, any hints left to uncover. But it's quite clear that Valora was expertly framed, and the conspirator didn't leave enough behind for me to clear her name. There we go. So I start to think that there's only one person who could be the culprit. At the same time, it seems so infeasible, I'm doubting myself. I feel like the only thing left to do is wait, since if the murder plans strike again, it'll surely be tonight. Tonight, the masquerade. I should probably start getting ready soon, shouldn't I?
Dancing.
So I theoretically groan to myself, but I can't help but feel a little bit excited and nervous. Look at me getting flustered about dancing. Thought this day would never come. I reluctantly pushed myself off my chair and set about reading myself, taking out the mask I brought the other day and admiring it. What kind of mask Franz will be wearing? I'm pretty sure I'm going to get a choice here, because I saw something about this in an achievement on Steam. So to my surprise, the remaining time until evening flies by as I practice my waltz steps and recall my various training, stumbling over my own feet half of the time. It isn't until I put on the mask and head to my bedroom door that my pulse suddenly starts to quicken. I attempt to swallow my nervousness. Franz is already down there, I presume. Should I wait for him to come escort me? Should I just go myself? What ridiculous this all is.
I'm not some girl who needs to be escorted. I'm perfectly capable of doing things myself.
I'm an independent man, I guess. I mutter under my breath as I head out to the corridor, hurrying towards the main hall. Sound of the crowds is even louder than it normally is, suggesting the masquerade is close to beginning. I let out a long exhale to try and calm my nerves, slowly descending the grand staircase so that I don't trip and end up a splatter at the bottom. My heart beats as if it's trying to win a hotly contested race, a point where I almost feel a little lightheaded. Whether it's from the idea of dancing or the idea of dancing with Franz, I don't know, and I'm not sure if I want to. Okay. I don't know why, but that girl seems very important somehow. I don't know why. Like, I remember this image, I'm like, who are you? You seem important. I stepped through the ballroom doors and to the floor, biting my lip and adjusting my mask anxiously. The swell of music greets me, as does a smattering of colorful dresses, suits, masks of all shapes and designs, each one exquisite in a macabre or mysterious way. Oh shit, I just realized I went way over than I normally go. Whoops. So yeah, I should end the video actually here. I think it's good time enough as any anyways. So if you guys enjoyed the video, get the like button. If you want to know what's going to happen next, because I imagine we're close to the end of this playthrough part with Franz, go subscribe button to me know if got anything to say in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Comrades?